Okay, class, picking up where we left off at, we were coming to the next example here, where we need to graph the functions by plotting points. Now, I took the liberty of filling this out already, and you can pause this video in order to copy these values down. But we have f of x equals x plus 4. We substitute in -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. And this will give us the following values. And over here, I know that it says x plus 4, but you need to scratch that out. It should be x squared minus 4. And then we will substitute in these values. And then down here, we have the points and we have the graph. Now, of course, this is supposed to be more of a parabola shape, more of a U shape, but I was drawing this freehand, so I did the best that I could. Now, we have these other values down here with B and D. And again, you must scratch out the x plus 4 and put in the actual equations that's given, and then substitute in these values. Then plot these points. And also have your parabola. Now, with this here, with this parabola here, I have to stress this. There were certain parts of this we had stopped at 2, 1, which was about here. And then what I've noticed is since this is a parabola, I could guess that it's going to be similar to the other side here. So now, we scroll down, we have the vertical line test. Now, you can read this at your leisure, but basically what this is saying is you could check and see if the graph is a function by using a vertical line test, which basically states this. If you draw a vertical line over any graph, if it only hits that graph once, no matter how many times you draw a line, if it only hits the graph once, it's a function. If you have any part of this graph that a vertical line could hit it and it would hit it more than once, then it is not a function. Now, taking that, we could look here. If you look at this graph here, if I drew a vertical line, say here, it will hit this graph more than once, so this is not a function. Remember, if there's any place on this graph that I could draw a vertical line and it hits it more than once, then it's not a function. Now this further explains what I just said to you. Now we need to scroll down to the next page. And it says, example, use the vertical line test to identify graphs in which y is a function of x. Now we know here we draw a vertical line. This is no. Draw a vertical line anywhere on this graph. You notice it only hits it once. So this is yes. Now we come here, we could draw a vertical line anywhere on this graph. It only hits it once, so it's yes. Over here, we have a vertical line here that hits this graph more than once, so it's no. Now we come here, draw a vertical line. Now of course it's supposed to be a straight line, but it hits this graph more than once, so it's no. And then also here, it hits this graph more than once, it's no. Now it says analyzing a graph of a function. The graph illustrates the body temperature from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Let x be the number of hours after 8 a.m. and y be the body temperature at time x. What is the temperature at 8 a.m.? Now remember, it said let x be the number of hours after 8 a.m. So 8 a.m. is our 0 point, which is here. And they want to know the body temperature, which would be 101. So it's 101 degrees Fahrenheit. Now it says during which period of time is your temperature decreasing? Now if you notice here, it's decreasing from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. So it's from 8 to 11 a.m. Estimate your minimum temperature during the time period shown. The minimum temperature would be here. So that would be about, let's say about 98.7 degrees Fahrenheit. It says how many hours after 8 a.m. does this occur? It occurs 3 hours after 8 a.m. It says at what times does this occur? So we'll add 3 hours to 8 a.m. So it'll be 11 a.m. During which period of time is your temperature increasing? Now if we look here at the increasing, it's increasing from 11 a.m. to, what's that, 12, 1 at 1 p.m. From 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. It says part of the graph is shown as a horizontal line segment. Okay, it says a horizontal line segment. That is true. It says, what does this mean about your temperature and when does this occur? That means that your temperature became stable. And it occurred let's look at the time. It was from 1 p.m. until 3 p.m. (1 p.m. to 3 p.m.) Now explain why the graph defines y as a function of x. A simple explanation is it passes the vertical line test. And that is it.